Welcome back, everybody. We are the Offside Zone. I'm Richie, your host. We are back with the crew. We got Cliff, Sam, Oswald, and Toby. This will be our 23rd episode, and we have a good slate of topics for you guys. The first topic is Lionel Messi. Um, is Messi coming to the MLS a good or a bad move? Going to let Cliff start with this question.
Yeah, I mean, I respect Messi's decision. I would have preferred him come back to Barcelona, honestly, just as a 1 year, you know, parting gift, just to say goodbye, like in a correct way. I think Barcelona still plans on like doing something for him because I don't think they're just going to let him walk like that. And there's still some rumors that maybe he might get loaned out to Barcelona. That Inter Miami might loan him out, but I don't think that's like true. But I think it is a good move for him. I think it was family reasons that he didn't go to Saudi, which I think that would have been a lucrative move, as we see like all the players are going to Saudi nowadays. But I like the move. It's a good move for the MLS. It's a good move for Messi. He's gonna have a stake in a MLS club after he retires. He's gonna live in Miami. There's gonna be a good quality of life for him and his family. It's a good move on his part. And then we get to watch Messi play in the MLS. So there's a chance I can go to one of his games. So that's is a good move
All right, Sam.
As a fan.
as a
Yeah,
fan.
I mean, I basically agree with everything Cliff said. I would have loved if he came back to Barcelona, but it couldn't happen. And I think the MLS move, like right now, we're looking at it as whatever it is, but I think in the future it's gonna be like a huge move because you look at what Pele did when he came to the MLS and how that grew his brand. Is this one thing that the US is good at is marketing. And a player like Messi coming to the US is gonna build his brand even more so than he is. And he already completed football. Like he has nothing to prove anymore at this point. So especially with Copa America 2024 coming up in the US, World Cup
Mm.
2026 coming up in the US, his brand is gonna go crazy with those tournaments coming up. So I think it's a good move for Messi.
All right, Oswald.
Yeah, I can agree with what Sam just said. Individually for Messi, for him to grow his brand, he's gonna go places. Well, it's Messi. He doesn't have to do anything to be honest. So um he had contracts from Saudi Arabia, $1 billion contract. He didn't have to he could have said yes or no whenever he wanted to. He could have even doubled. That's what I think. He could have doubled um if this the price of Saudi's guys were asking for. I don't think it's about money with Messi at the moment. I think it's about growing his name and building a brand where he can put himself to a level where, okay, everyone's going to remember him for hundreds and thousands of years. They're going to know he is the GOAT. Uh, the World Cup, and the Copa America coming up in America is going to be a great thing for him. It's going to like boost his whole ego. That's just his own thing. Boost his whole brand, boost his whole Adidas boots and everything. It's going to boost everything for him individually. But in terms of like as a player, some people are going to look at him slightly as, oh, he didn't do it at the highest level compared to Cristiano Ronaldo, because Ronaldo did it at Man U when he was, what, 35, 36, and then he turned 37, and then he left Man U. So they're going to have that little comparison between those two. That's how I look at it. But I still think Messi is doing the okay thing for himself. I think he should have just gone to Barcelona, personally. He should have gone to Barcelona and just stayed there for at least 2 to 3 years and then build up a reputation where he solidifies himself as the greatest of all time.
All right, Toby.
Yeah, I think for Messi, any move to Saudi Arabia or the MLS would have been perfectly fine for him because at the end of the day, he's getting paid exponentially more than what he is right now. Um, personally, I think the move basically highlights not only the intention for him to still want to go to Barcelona, but also it highlights the lack of ability Barcelona had at the moment to actually get Messi to come back to the club. When you look at it, I think the rumors were MLS during their offseason, obviously it doesn't collide with La Liga, so he can still get loaned out to Barcelona and still work that out. It's something that's very possible. And I think that's what's really happening, especially when you look at the people that Inter Milan are even trying to get now. They're trying to get Di Maria. They're trying to get Luis Suarez. They're trying to get Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba. Basically, Barcelona B. So, so for me, I can see why he did it. And, we like to talk about the branding and stuff like that. But financially, I think what he should have done was go to Saudi Arabia. I say that because, number one, it's a market over there as well. There are billions of people over there. Let's be honest. A lot of those people, their number one sport are different. It could be cricket. It could be soccer too. But the point is there's a whole open market over there as well. So, like, those fans are still there, and he could have tapped into that as well. Then when you look at the World Cup year of 2026 in the U.S., he could have went to Saudi Arabia for 2 years, got paid $1.6 billion, came back to MLS in 2025 when his hype for the MLS would have been crazy, and then went into the World Cup with the United States. And that $1.6 billion, he could have bought like 5-6 teams in the MLS. So the situation that they're talking about in the MLS where they're saying, oh, he gets a lucrative contract where he gets to buy an MLS franchise and he gets to own part of the Apple image rights and stuff like that, it ain't touching the money that Saudi Arabia was offering. And that's what I'm saying. If I was his personal financial advisor, that's what I would have told him to do. But the reason why he really coming back to MLS is because he's going to get that loan back to Barcelona, and he's going to do it that way.
And Toby, he made the move for his family too, though.
Like, yeah, I'm saying, like, do you not think
in Miami
that,
and all that, they didn't want to move and pick up their whole life and go to Saudi Arabia?
Toby,
Saudi Arabia.
Do you not think that Messi knows exactly what he's worth? Like, MLS, it's MLS. We're talking MLS. It's a different, ballpark compared to like the Saudi. The Saudi guys are just throwing money at everybody. It just, anyone that's a has-been, they're just throwing at it. So it's like Messi is compared to, according to most people, he's the GOAT. According to most people. Well, he's my GOAT, but I'm just saying, according to most people, he's the GOAT. But why would you say that? Why would you say that he should have gone to Saudi Arabia though? Because
money is money, bro.
MLS.
Money is money.
Money not at money to everybody though.
That's
Obviously,
cool.
as he decided, because he has enough money.
That is cool. That is absolutely cool.
I feel like it's kind of insane to say no to $1.6 billion for 2 years. When he could, like Toby was saying, he could have came to the MLS in like 2025 after that and still got the same amount of things he is getting now with the MLS. They would have still given him that, that Apple TV deal and all that stuff. So, I mean, to me, the way me and Toby are thinking more so, like, is more than generational wealth. Like, $1.6 billion to cool it in Saudi Arabia for 2 years?
I mean, that offer.
The same thing can be said for after his MLS.
Yeah, that offer is still going to be on the table.
That offer is going to come back, bro.
Yeah, that's why it's even more crazier, because he could have just got that out the way now. If he's still planning on going to Saudi Arabia, which I actually don't think is likely now. When you consider the fact that he was talking about his family and things are more important than money, and I get that. I actually think it's less likely now for him to go to Saudi Arabia based off of that, because he could have got that out the way right now and still went to the MLS in 2025.
If he went there, they would have offered him more money to stay.
Who cares? He
It's-
still would have got
that's-
1.6 billion for 2 years.
It makes a lot more
He didn't
sense
care.
to
He
go
didn't
to
care.
Barcelona or to go to whatever Inter Miami now, and then like after 2 years or 1 year, I think it's going to be like more of like a 1 year, 2 year situation. Like after 1 year, he can just go to Saudi and call it a day.
For him,
It's
him
Messi.
and his desire to be at Barca, that's the only reason why I can see he went to Inter Milan. Because I promise you, around January, when we're tired of talking, when the MLS season is over, you're going to Barcelona, shocking surprise move for Lionel Messi. If you give him his farewell, like that's what we're going to see. Because I can see that they probably worked that out because the offseason, they don't collide. They work hand in hand. And at the end of the day, he's still warming up. He's still getting his matches in while staying up
Yeah.
in terms of himself. So like that's what I think he did. It shows his desire to really want to go back to Barcelona rather than actually thinking about financially and his career. Because career wise, you got to think about the money. I'm sorry. Like I know Messi is rich. He's stinking rich already. But $1.6 billion, we are talking about like Bill Gates type money. Like we're talking about money,
For
billion for free.
Yeah, he has that. He has that in abundance, though. That's
No,
the thing.
no. He don't got $1.6 billion
Yes,
in
he
abundance.
You think
Oh my
Messi hasn't
God.
accumulated $1 billion?
You don't
Nah, I don't
has
think he
that
got a billion. I don't think he got
dollars from a
Even if he does have a billion, even if he does have a billion, he can double it. What are we talking
And
about?
he can double it in 2 years too.
Yeah.
I think
Yo.
what he was really planning on doing is moving for his family, and then at the same time, not only the World Cup is coming up, but the Copa America is coming up next year. in the US.
He gonna be in the Copa America in the US anyways. He gonna
Exactly.
be there
And
anyways.
he's gonna build his brand in the US for a year
Yeah.
before that tournament happens.
He could have did that after the World Cup, before the World Cup, like in
No.
2025. He easily
That's
could
why I'm
if
saying
he
I think he wanted to do
builds
it
it
for
up
Copa
at this
America and
moment.
the World Cup.
unnecessary.
If he's building it up, no, if he's building it up right now before the Copa America starts, that's a good thing for
They're
him.
all
At
good
least.
things. They're all relatively good things. I'm just saying, as somebody who's looking at a career critically, like all the decisions he's made is perfectly fine. I'm not blaming anything for what Messi's doing. They're all lucrative deals. They're all great for his career. I'm just saying, as a personal financial advisor, and I'm looking at what career means, especially at the end of your career, you gotta look at the finances, my brother. $1.6 billion is not a joke. He could go in there and buy the whole MLS with $1.6 billion. That's my point. So, like, when you look at that situation, how desperate they wanted you to come to Saudi Arabia, because it's hot right now. It's hot right now. He might not get 1.6 billion in 2 years. Y'all saying that like it's a guarantee, but I don't even think the way that he was talking about not moving there because of his family and this and that, I don't even think it's going to be a likely move for him in 2 years rather than now. I would think as a advisor, get that out the way now. Put your family through that now. Later on, get to the 2025, you're in the MLS, you're cooling, you go back to Barcelona for your farewell, you retire. That's beautiful.
I think
We're talking about
we're basically just seeing the difference in people though. Like
Yeah.
we don't care about that.
You're looking at
Yeah,
things
let's
differently.
slice his
We care about
character.
the 1.6. No, I'm not even trying to
Well,
say it like that. I'm just saying he obviously doesn't care about the 1.6 billion.
Yeah, obviously.
care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He cares more about his family.
But do you guys think it would have been, because I don't see him, the way that you guys are talking is that you guys think he'll still go to Saudi Arabia. I don't think he will.
I personally
I don't
think he
will.
will. I think he will.
I don't
I
think
think
he
he
will,
will.
but I think he could. I don't think he will though.
I don't see a point of him really going there after now. He's gonna be older. Why would he want to do his retirement there?
Exactly.
Because the
Which
money.
is exactly. So if we're praising him for not taking the money now, you're looking at the trajectory of his career. Would it not have been better for him to do MLS in 2025, hype himself up to the World Cup, and then go to a loan to Barcelona for 6 months and retire.
It
Am I
doesn't.
lying? Please
Yo,
tell me, am I
The
lying?
other way
I
around,
I
the
think-
other
I
way
think
around
It
is
really
better.
doesn't matter, right? You know, when we're talking about goal conversations, right? We're talking about like players like Messi, Pele, Maradona, and Ronaldo. Players like that, they don't have to do a damn thing whatsoever.
We know.
I'm serious. All they have to do is just show face. Money's gonna come right there, no matter what.
No,
They just
they
have to
have an
show
abundance
face.
of money.
Yes.
We know.
Yeah,
But
they
what
have it,
I
but I'm
just
telling you,
offered-
they have to just show face. They have nothing else to prove.
That's true. But what I just offered, is that not a better trajectory?
That's
That's
a better trajectory.
Than to go
you.
back to Saudi Arabia in 2 years and then go for the money at the end of the day?
It's a better trajectory for you.
Isn't that what
So,
Ronaldo
the
did?
way-
Isn't
I don't
Ronaldo
care
to
about
Saudi-
what Ronaldo does. He's
Ronaldo
different
went to
people.
Saudi Arabia at 37. Why can't Messi go to Saudi Arabia at 37?
He tried to go back to Man U and didn't work out. So I don't care about what Ronaldo's
It didn't
doing.
work out the first season.
It clearly didn't
His
work
first
out.
season was a great season. His first season was a great season.
It clearly
18
didn't work
goals
out.
for Fred.
And I'm saying I don't want Messi. Not even that I don't want Messi, but if I'm just taking a step back and I'm not just being a fan of, oh my God, I'm so happy Messi's in the MLS, which I am. I'm gonna be one of them people flying on them planes to go see Messi in Miami. But all I'm saying is, trajectory-wise, you want him to end his career at Barcelona. And if honestly, this would have been the perfect time to slide yourself to Saudi Arabia, do your
Nah.
little yes.
He
Listen
didn't want
to
to
the
go to Saudi
trajectory.
Arabia, bro.
I know
Because-
that. Just
If you-
listen to the
I
trajectory.
would have taken the Saudi Arabian money. You probably would have taken it. All
Oh
of this
my
money
God.
here.
Wait. But
We're
we're talking about.
not the same
We're only
people,
talking because we don't have that kind of money. That's why we're
You
saying
want
it.
him
We're not the
You-
same people as Messi.
You want him
bro.
to go back to Barcelona at 37 rather than go to Saudi at 37?
Yes, for his retirement.
How do you know they're gonna take him back at 37? Why not go there now
It's
while you
a
still
curtain
as fresh as
raiser.
you can?
When he goes back to the MLS now, it's going to be a curtain raiser. I hope you don't think he's going there to go and do magic Messi wonders.
He's
again.
gonna be okay, but he's not gonna be his
He's
peak.
gonna
But the
still be
thing
the
is,
best player in the MLS. What you
the
mean?
thing is,
Hey,
though,
that's-
why would he go back to Barcelona at 37 when he can just go back there now? That's what I'm asking.
they still expected Messi to go to Barca now and be doing magic Messi. That's
So
why.
the reason he should have went to Saudi Arabia first and then Barcelona is so he can play his last games with Barcelona.
Yeah, but how realistic?
Oh,
How realistic is that, though?
That
How
was so
it-
realistic.
it's
No.
not.
But Barcelona are literally making a press conference to say that they weren't able to sign him this summer. That's how pressed that club. Barcelona is Messi. They would give
They
him
want
that 6
him
months.
now. They want him as he is now.
They
How
would
do you
take
know
that
he's still
brother
going
if
to
he
be the
was
same
40
guy?
years
How do you know
old.
they're still going to want him 2 years from now?
They would take that brother if he was 40 years old just to
Nah, that's
sit
playing.
and
I don't know about that.
Nah, that's playing.
on
Would they pay? How much would they pay him though? That's the thing.
Wallahi. They would
Bro,
get the
That's
they'll
why
take,
it makes
they'll
sense.
take that man, like Toby said, they'll take that man to sit on the bench just to sell his jerseys, bro.
just to sell his shirts.
But
Like,
then
you
why
wanna-
not? Why not try to do that now? And then after 2 years, if it doesn't work out, if you never go back to Barcelona, then you go to Saudi
Because
Arabia
that's
when you're 37.
ugly. That's the point.
That's what
I just think the U.S. move makes sense with those
It
two
makes-
tournaments coming up in the
Yeah.
U.S., bro.
Right,
And then
it makes sense
extending.
for the World Cup, but Copa America, I get it, but like you could have did this.
Copa America's
He could have did the same super damage at the World. And I'm saying the hype from now to 2024. Yes, Messi is always going to be in the MLS, and but look at the hype that's now. It's gonna progressively die down. Then it's gonna build back up.
it's
I'm
gonna
saying
die down.
he could have got to the height of it as soon as the 2025 season came about, and then rode that into the World Cup. That would have been crazy. That actually would have been crazy.
I feel like Saudi Arabia also is kind of like out of sight, out of mind, bro. Like
Oh,
it is though. Like we don't really see
Ah.
Ronaldo
watch
no more,
South
bro.
Arabian League though.
that's cap, bro. That
I
is
don't really
cap.
see Ronaldo no more, bro.
So
Like I see him on 423 Instagram posts, but I don't really see
Yeah.
see him no more, bro.
There's a whole side of the other world that sees
No,
Ronaldo.
serious
But
question.
do you
guys
live there?
actually-
I don't live there.
I
I'm talking
don't
about-
need
no.
to live there
Question,
to
guys,
understand that,
Do
bro.
you actually go out your way and watch those games?
That's us. There's a whole side of the world.
We are talking about us.
No.
We talking about
as
us.
fans.
I'm saying he probably be on a commercial chilling. Probably be on commercials. Hey, look at my watch. I'm TR7 all day long.
Fans, bro, I still see the notification from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I still get those, but I'm just saying, we as fans, do you go out your way to watch the games?
Yes, not me.
I've only
but I'm saying there's a whole other side of the world that does that.
This entire season.
Since we're on the topic of Saudi Arabia, let's move on to the next topic. Is the Saudi takeover in full effect, and what does that mean for football? I'm gonna let Sam start with this question.
I mean, obviously, it's very much in full effect. They're basically signing everybody they want at this point, and everybody's going pretty much. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing for football, because I think it's a better I think it's because they offer more money to players. I think more players are gonna go and choose to go to Saudi Arabia as opposed to like the MLS. But I mean, I really don't know where it's gonna end. That's the question. The real question now is, can they sign players that are actually in their prime? Are they gonna be able to sign players that are in their prime instead of players that are kind of like on the back end of their career? That's what's gonna be the question moving forward in the future.
I feel like they kind of are, because this if I was to look at N'Golo Kante's move, he's still relatively young, and he's going over there. Like,
that man has not played for 2 seasons. What are
Yeah, he's been injured for like a season and a half.
I'm a Chelsea fan.
Age-wise, y'all was still
like age-wise, like he's
No. Age-wise, yes.
And he's choosing to go over there. So I feel like that's going to attract more people, especially like younger people, to go over there if they're offering that same amount of money.
Like Benzema could literally still just won the Ballon d'Or last year. Like y'all saying, I get it with the age, but Ronaldo didn't like stop his prime till like he was like 36, bro. So like N'Golo Kante, I think he's maybe he might still be less. He might be 30.
32 or 3, something like that. One of those two.
33? Nah, but
he's not older than 33.
But the point is,
He's 32.
He started for Chelsea last maybe 2 weeks ago. That's my point. And if y'all would have signed him again, he would have been your starting center defensive mid. So like I get what Richie is saying when it comes to that. But when you look at Saudi's takeover, bro, not only are they signing players, but they're buying teams. Shoot, you can even take it as far as they're buying sports. I saw the other day that they were buying or they're at least campaigning with golf. Like they buying the whole PGA tour. So when you look at what their impact is in sports, on the sports world, you look at your Newcastle, you look at Man City, you look at other teams globally. Yeah, they're going crazy in the market right now. And I think in football, it means an inject of money. It means an inject of marketing. Because like I said earlier, there's a whole other side of the world that still needs to be truly exposed to the sport. And it gives the sport a bigger platform for other people to see and, watch soccer. And I think that's amazing. Now, does that make it an equal playing field when, certain people could just offer a bunch of money and just be like, hey, come to the team? No, it doesn't. But when you look at what the Prem has been doing to other leagues for years, everybody has a time. And when your time is up, your time is up. So maybe now it's the Saudis, and maybe that means more representation. Maybe that means more lucrative deals, but whatever it is, it's here to stay.
All right, Oswald.
So I look at this from this perspective, right? China, the Chinese league, Chinese Superliga, they were doing the same thing that these Saudis were doing a few years ago, offering hundreds and millions of dollars to players. So that project was a disaster.
Russia did that too, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Russia did that too.
A few of those teams were dissolved. They went out to they got relegated. They were just throwing out money trying to get their league to blow up to like the Premier League level type of thing. But I don't think. I mean, I know the Saudis have more money, but I think that at some point, when you're playing in a country where the sport is not number one and people are not really taking it as serious compared to like other countries like the European countries like England, France, Belgium, all those places, it's not gonna last too long.
I disagree.
I don't think so.
The reason I disagree with that is because if you just look at how the Saudi Arabian League are doing things now, just in terms of the presentation. If you look at the presentation of the Benzema announcement, bro, those fans, they got fireworks, they got pyrotechnics. Those fans are going crazy in the stadium, bro. Like Toby touched on before, just mentioning of other sports like golf. They even got wrestling now. They're having main event, and them stadiums are packed.
Boxing as well.
Ram.
How much are those tickets in those stadiums? That's the question. How much are they, the amount of money that these players are making right now compared to what they were making prior to coming to these teams is at least 4 to 5 times exponentially more than what they're making. That's ridiculous amount of money. So that's why those players are just bye-bye Europe. See you in Saudi Arabia.
But that's the point, though. At the end of the day, it's still exposing the fans over there to the sport. And you never know. One day, that might be the number one sport over there. There's millions of people on that side, which is what I'm saying. So when they go to those stadiums, they be packing it out, bro. They be having attendance for 70,000 people over there on the regular, which is my point. It might get to a state where if they do get the right amount of players in there, and they themselves build their players, homegrown players correctly, it might be a decent league. I'm not saying it's going to be top 5. I'm not even saying it's going to be top 6 or 7. But it might be a league whereas, okay, it could get some type of credibility. It could be in the Europa Conference League or something. I can see that definitely happening.
See, my thing is, the way they're going about the Saudi League is basically what we've criticized teams like Man City and PSG for years for doing.
Yes, it is.
Putting cash into players. And we've seen that it doesn't always work. So Oswald's point, we have to see how it plays out because they're throwing these players money at these players, but that doesn't mean that the system, the groundwork has been laid from the foundation. They're just throwing out money to Conte and Benzema and Ronaldo, and that's cool. Those players are going to come there, collect their check, and finish out their careers. But what about their youth system? And what about their academies? And what about their B teams and stuff like that? That has to, change as well before we see any real difference in the Saudi League, to be honest.
Exactly. I agree. And I think they'll do that actually.
Yeah.
See, you actually have to be able to attract talent. Like Sam said, the academy teams, the B players, you actually be able to attract those guys to stay in those academies. You're gonna have to throw a lot more money to those players for them to fly out from Europe, South America, Africa, all the way to Saudi Arabia. It's crazy. You're gonna have to spend more than what you normally spend on these players.
If anybody can do that, bruh, it's going to be the Saudis, bruh. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Once they get their hands on general sports in general, because that's why we named other sports. It's not like they're just tapping into one market and they say, hey, Ronaldo, come here. They got Ronaldo in there as a PR. They got him in there so that they can attract younger players. And when you look at the investment that they can potentially put into, they could easily go into some of these continents, these countries, and say, hey, come. We'll build you, because they got good facilities. They got everything that they need over there, is my point. They just have to take their time, make the right chess moves. And like I said, also was laughing when I said you could probably see one of these Saudi teams in the Europa Conference League, but bro, we got teams on there that we can't even pronounce. Like,
Saudi has their own. I think they have their own like Asia.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they play the Asian League.
Asian Champions League. Yeah.
but money talks, bro. Eventually, you might see that Asia League fuse with the regular other people over here on this side. Like it's all about money at the end of the day. And when you see potential, a lot of times situations like that seem far fetched can actually turn into reality. And I can see that happening. Because look at the World Cup. Now it's more teams because of money. I can see a situation where Saudi grows their players to the point where they have to be recognized. They have to be given credibility. And then they slide them into the main platform is what we all see as football. And then you guys won't be asking me, do you watch Ronaldo? It'll be there for you all to see.
Yeah, I think when I think about it, I think about like the economic aspect of it. Like, first of all, you can't pay every single player that walks, into the Saudi league all this money. Like, it makes sense for Ronaldo and it makes sense for Messi and those type of players, but at some point you're not going to be paying. Like, is Conte really delivering? Is he giving you back the investment that you're putting into him?
Yeah,
so
Conte was size.
Yeah, and Benzema even makes sense, but yeah, Conte
Benzema makes sense, but
the thing
Conte,
and that's why I'm like, I'm kind of thinking about the motive behind this, because we all know that they want to have the World Cup in Saudi, so they're trying to push the bid. But after that, is there still going to be like the interest and investment? We see the Newcastle already is solidified, but is there going to still be the same type of interest to invest in these players when the World Cup bid is over? Is this like a long-term thing, or is this just like a fad, like that's going to dry up after the World Cup? That's my thing. I don't think it's like a long-term thing. That's why I don't think it's sustainable based on the amount of money and the amount of players or the kinds of players that they want to attract. Because you got to build up your name first in Europe for them to even look at you. They're not going to be trying to develop, paying billions of dollars just for some no-name guy to develop.
Yep.
That person is already going to have a name and a brand built on Europe first, and then they're going to pay him money, and by that time he's going to be like 30 or whatever. But yeah, I don't think it's a serious thing. I think it's going to die down probably after the World Cup.
I feel like they're trying to get cheap recognition to grow that league. Like, they're trying to get the attention over there so they can have the ability to start growing that league. I believe this is just their definition of groundwork.
But then after the groundwork, are they going to be giving the players the same kind of contracts that they get in Europe? Yeah. Because who's going to join Saudi to get the same type of money that they would have gotten in Europe playing in a better league? So they
Saudi has to pay more than European clubs.
Yeah, for them to attract the players that they
want. Is that sustainable? Is that sustainable?
They do. But I also think like what we think their ambition is very far-fetched from what the reality is. I think they just want to get to a point where they're just credible. Bro, you look at the club that Ronaldo joined, bro. His club, before he joined, their followers was nothing. Now, what that club literally probably has more followers than basically all of the MLS. That's my point. So, like, when you look at credibility from a credibility standpoint, they are gaining it. We are paying attention to them. We're having a podcast talking about them right now, which is my point. That might be where they're trying to head to. They're not trying to break into Europe's top 4. Like, I don't even think nobody will ever break that. But at the end of the day, they're gaining a sense of credibility and recognition that's needed for them to at least generalize their league. So, and I do agree with the fact that look at N'Golo Kante, but I mean, then again, looking at it, N'Golo Kante is a prominent French player. Like, they make songs about N'Golo Kante. You look at the market he could tap into, he's job representing for the Africans as well. So Yeah.
He's
And-
not like a marketable.
Yeah,
He's not the
Yeah,
most
brand
marketable.
name.
He's not
He's
the
not
most
the most-
marketable. But
Not right now.
he's not
not
the
right
most
now.
marketable. But he's a very likable guy. And like it's not a situation whereas like N'Golo Kante goes over there and we just blink an eye and we just keep it pushing. We're all like, what? N'Golo Kante going over there? That's crazy. That's what I mean. That might be just the shock factor they're looking for. But at the end of the day, that's all like Richie just said. That might be their version of the groundwork that they're actually trying to put in so that they could get to a point where they're actually gaining some real credibility and recognition. I think it all goes hand in hand, bro.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the next topic. Who is your most disappointing player of the season and why? I'm going to let you start with this.
Most disappointing player of the season?
There's a lot to choose from.
From Chelsea.
From Chelsea?
Well,
Heck yeah.
Yo, forget about my team.
No, don't forget. Don't forget.
What?
Listen,
Don't be shy,
let me
bro.
tell you,
You got
as
a whole roster to
okay,
choose from.
as of January, I accepted my fate. No. Listen, from January, I accepted.
You got
Don't be
Mudryk,
shy.
you got Kai
Hold on.
Havertz. Come on, bro. Don't be shy.
Hold on. From the moment January hit, I was like, yup. As long as Arsenal in the league and we're close to relegation, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That's what I said. I said, I'm okay with that. I accepted it. I was like, yeah, it's a dub season. Just end the season. Just end the league. Just end it as it is right now. Just finish it.
On your team that you're most disappointed.
But yo, and my team, out pretty much most of the people. Kai Havertz, get rid of him. Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's on loan, but get rid of him too. I used to love him.
What did he do?
Damn.
What did he do, bro?
Get rid of him. Get rid of him. What's the guy? Pretty much most of our players that we have on the roster.
What did Hudson
I mean,
I don't understand.
we
He's
need
had
to
his
make
time.
space. Huh?
You
He's had his time.
Yeah, he's had his time. He's had more than enough time.
Get rid of him. Sterling.
Raheem Sterling, he can stay. This is his first season. I'll give him grace. I'll give him a little
Ben
bit of grace. This is his
Chilwell
first
was
season.
spanked. Who else y'all
Ben
had?
Chilwell, injuries. Too many injuries for him.
Reece
James,
spanked this year.
Cucurella. You think
Who's your
Cucurella
guy?
can-
Who's your guy? Who's your guy?
Cucurella can
One
Who's
player,
your
bro.
most disappointing player?
They're all
in
losing.
Chelsea.
One player, bro.
Just any player.
All right, in
Okay.
Chelsea this season, right? For the most part, the player I had higher expectations was Kai Havertz. I had higher expectations from him. I was expecting, okay, this is his fourth season. Oh, he's done this, he's done that. Get rid of him. Go to Madrid. Go. Bye. Take him away. 40, 50 million. Take him. Take him. I'm okay with that.
Hey, that's your Champions League winner though, bro.
Hey, he's a legend.
That man had 4 seasons.
Wait. Did you just call that man a legend?
He's a legend. Is he not?
brother.
He has more Champions League. He
That
has
man-
more Champions League wins than your team, right?
That man had 4 seasons.
Bro, that doesn't matter. You're calling him a legend.
I
That man
rest
is not
my
a legend for that dusty, crusty ass goal he
Get rid
scored.
Hey, a win is a win. Get rid of him.
A win is a win.
A win is a win. It doesn't matter.
See,
It doesn't matter.
This is why Chelsea fans have a disproportionate way of looking at things because you're telling
do
me
not.
now. Yes, you do, bro. You know how many clubs? You know how many clubs that have real legends that probably haven't won the Champions League? So you're telling me I should be calling Kai Havertz a legend, but Ibrahimovic that hasn't won the Champions League because that's what you're saying. Exactly. It don't make sense. The guy scored 1 goal every season that he's been there that you just named. 4. But you guys be talking. It's like the Rashford effect where we talk about Kai Havertz like he's a 18-year-old prodigy that was just sitting there cooling. That man's a big disappointment for 4 years. Has been sticking up the place. Man, them didn't even get more than 9 goals this season, but he played like 40 games, bruh. Spanked. Worst player on Chelsea, and he's obviously getting
not
out the club.
He's not a striker.
Oh, brother. I'm not.
He is not a striker. He is not a striker.
It's all
I'm
good.
just saying.
We can tell.
He's an attacking mid. That's his position. He's an attacking mid.
He's not doing
That's
much of attacking at all, though.
He does. He actually does. But it's just that the team is just garbage.
Where's the goals, bro? Where's the assists?
Team is garbage. We have garbage players this season. We literally play like trash this season.
Part of the garbage.
Like, no, he did not. Okay.
He's your most disappointing player, Oswald. You said that, not me.
It's him, bro.
You said that, not me.
I expected more from him. Yeah, I wanted him to be more of a leader this season. I was expecting that from him, but he didn't do what I expected.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, he has all the qualities to be a leader, but he didn't do it. He just didn't do it, unfortunately.
Because he sucks. Next, please. Please, next.
All right, Toby, what about you?
All right, man. My most disappointing player. Obviously, I'm not picking anybody from Arsenal because they're all lovely chaps. Did the thing.
That bottled the league. Yep. Go ahead.
Hater. Hater over here. See,
Martinelli.
Unlike Kai Havertz, that's been balling, quote unquote, been in the league for 4 years, right? My Arsenal team is one of the youngest teams in the league. So you can talk about bottling. Yes, some 23-year-olds bottled the league.
Get to the answer, bro.
I just want you to know, as a grown man, you're cooking kids. But anyways, I can't name anybody on Arsenal, obviously, because they had great seasons. But I will name a arch rival team. Now, Spurs? Holy cow. Man, you can pick the lot, bruv. Human Son this season was a whole different person. But hey, the buck doesn't even stop there. There's an even worse guy on that team. I ain't never seen a brother take his shirt off so many times with disappointment in my life.
Allowed goals.
4 goals. 3 disallowed where he took his shirt off. Just doing chicken like this. That guy scored 1 goal the whole season, bro. Literally, I'm sorry to tell Spurs fans, but I mean, honestly, I'm not even sorry because they're used to losing. Like, they're just straight losers. They don't win trophies. They don't win games. Dude, they don't even win in signing people because when they get there, they're just terrible. So, yeah, my most disappointing player is without a doubt by Amar Richarlison. That chicken head. That's all he did, bro.
Million.
That's it. He did that for 50 million. No, 60 million.
What a disappointment.
All right, Sam.
For me, I'd say the most disappointing player of the season was I would say Mbappe for me, because I think Mbappe is probably the best player in the world, and he underachieved once again in the Champions League after having like a historic World Cup. I thought he was gonna come out in the Champions League and just dominate and just like take PSG to glory. I actually thought he was gonna be able to lead PSG to glory after that World Cup run. So yeah, he had a good season in Ligue 1. He's gonna always have a good season in Ligue 1, but I expected more from him against Bayern in the Champions League to lead them further. So I'll say Mbappe.
What?
That's
The same Paris Saint-Germain that Messi was on the team.
Yeah.
And Neymar doing the same nonsense. But you pick Mbappe, the top scorer of PSG. The guy that actually was making the team tick, not Messi.
Yep.
Okay. Not Neymar, but Mbappe.
Neymar is injured all the time.
I'm sorry, but Mbappe carried that PSG team on his back.
To what?
Carried the team on his back.
To what?
For whatever they won. They won Ligue 1, right?
Exactly.
They won Ligue 1, right? He won.
Scored
He
a
won
hat
top
trick in the
scorer.
World Cup final. You can't get a goal against Bayern.
Can we talk about Messi? Messi won the World Cup. What did he do
But
with
Messi's
PSG?
35 though. And
Oh, here we go.
23.
Mbappe's 23 and was their top scorer in the
And he's in
league.
his prime though, bro.
And he won top scorer in the league. What else do you want him to do?
I want him to carry PSG farther in the Champions League.
Okay,
Can
tell
you do
that to
that for
Messi
me?
and Neymar. You can't do it by
Do
yourself.
that for me.
Tell that to Messi
Messi
and Neymar.
Messi did.
Messi has done
Messi
it.
did.
Messi's done it.
Messi
When he was
did
23,
what?
he was winning
At
Ballon d'Ors in Champions League.
PSG. At PSG.
Messi did.
Messi's done it. When he was 23, he's won a Ballon d'Or. He won a Champions League.
He didn't do it by
Mbappe is in the prime of his career.
He didn't
Just
do it by
came
himself.
back from an amazing World Cup. I expected more.
He didn't do it by himself, bro. And look at those teams that you're talking about, bro. That's all I'm saying. In terms of what Mbappe did this season, what I've actually seen, even at the World Cup, he carried France. He didn't win, right? I'm just saying you can see the effort there at PSG with a absolutely dysfunctional group of PSG players. This is probably the most dysfunctional group that we've seen PSG try to put together. Messi don't really want to be there. Neymar don't really want to be there. The whole people fighting because Mbappe is the leader now. Like,
That's what I'm saying. I just believe. I don't even think PSG is built for the Champions League.
what you want him to do? You saw what he did in the Champions League. We watched he actually cooked in the Champions League too. Yes, he did. He even came back. The game that he came back when they went out, he was injured. He still played through it. Before that, the game before that, or the series before that, he's the one that scored them 2 goals. We were all saying, Mbappe! Where was Messi and Neymar? Injured and this again. What do you want him to do?
In the prime of his career, I want him to carry his team to the Champions League.
All right, bro.
Messi and Ronaldo have both done. Like Messi and Ronaldo have both done. I want him to do that.
Nah, Messi had a caliber of players next to him. I'm not saying Messi ain't do what he did, but come on, dog. Look,
Messi and Ronaldo in their prime carried their teams to Champions League.
Ronaldo stacked team, Messi stacked team, and they were a team. They were a team. They were teams. They played together. It wasn't
for Mbappe's Champions League.
Hopefully he does that in Real Madrid, but at least he's gonna play on the team.
Okay, when he does that, I'll clap. I'll applaud him.
Damn, most disappointed player, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about most disappointing player.
Easy, bro.
That's kind of a reach for me.
Third in the Ballon d'Or voting, or 4th most disappointing player. That is crazy.
Yep.
All right, Cliff.
Yeah, before the what's it called started, the episode started, I was thinking Darwin Núñez, because of how we hyped him up before the season. You know, they brought in Haaland, and you know, Liverpool's. No, okay, just me. But
they were
after
comparing him to Haaland, bro.
They were.
You're mute.
Okay. But but I kind of changed my answer. My answer now is what's the name? Mudryk. After we were talking about Chelsea, I just realized, man, Mudryk. The way Arsenal fans, not even just Arsenal fans, the way people were just hyping him up like he was supposed to be like the next Neymar or something. Bro, I was expecting to see light.
Haters.
I was going to see fireworks as he got on the pitch. And I kept on giving him grace because, you know, I watched man's highlights. I was seeing like, oh, man, he actually has skill. He could be, you know, he could be like the next Neymar. He could be something. Y'all bought him for like, what, 80 million? He didn't score one goal.
That man ain't scored diddly squat.
He didn't score one goal in like 15 appearances
007.
in the Premier League.
Four assists. 4 assists.
That brother's an agent, bro.
I don't know.
The man almost said 4 assists. Like that man went crazy.
This how quiet he was on the goals too, brother. He said,
and he had chances too. He missed a lot of chances too.
Nah, Mudryk,
So,
bro.
so yeah, I don't know.
He did miss.
I give it a Mudryk.
Mudryk is like, yeah, he's clipped. I'm sorry, like
I still got hope for him next season. Hopefully he turns it around. I still have hope.
even
But
if he starts cooking now, bro, he's already a solidified meme. He's a meme. And the crazy thing is, not only is he been a joke on the field, but he's also a joke outside of the field as well. The guy is a double whammy loser at this point. I don't even know what we saw in that, brother.
This guy is butthurt. This guy is so butthurt to the point where that we stole him from his team. That he cannot accept the fact that we stole him from his team. Mudryk was supposed to go to Arsenal, right? Supposedly.
And thank God he did not.
And you're saying this now. You're only saying this now because he's not on your team. Please be quiet. Wait till next season. Wait till this summer. I'm telling you right now, I have faith in this guy. He's gonna be a great player. And quote me today. Today is what? June 8th, 2023.
Good for you.
Summertime.
Even if the brother starts cooking,
Somebody clip that right.
Clip. We gonna clip this today. June 8th, 2023.
Even if the brother starts cooking tomorrow,
is gonna be one of the best players in the league.
Huh?
All right, bro. Can we talk about
he has everything.
Look,
he has talent.
Chelsea was also dysfunctional this season.
Need confidence. He just needs confidence. That's it.
But can we talk about how often it is when players go to Chelsea, they just fail and play garbage?
How often?
It's very often.
Very
it's often. Or miss. Y'all just buy more players so we go unnoticed, but they all be flopping. They all be flopping. Look at your transfer for the last 5 years, bro. A lot of them are flops.
If they bring in Neymar and Mudryk has to be on the bench too, that's going to be another.
I don't even see Mudryk really playing next year.
I don't want to see Neymar in that team. I don't want to see Neymar in that part. I like Neymar. I don't want to see. I don't want him there. I don't.
Why not?
Honestly, he's better than
he's gonna be too expensive. Number one, he's gonna be the highest paid player in the league. Number one.
Y'all obviously don't care about spending money, bro.
Yeah, but we're good. Listen, we're gonna get rid of at least 10 players in that roster. Okay. I can tell you that right now. This summer, yes,
buddy.
10.
It's already.
They're gonna get. It's either I'll say at least 5 of them are gonna be sold. But some of them are going to be on loan. At least 10 got to go.
Bro. I need to sell Mudryk.
Mudryk can stay.
The truth of the matter, bro, is I don't know what Zinchenko put in the air, but that brother was just lying so he could get his mans on. That's all I seen. Because
he lied.
That brother was selling dreams, and I get it, bro. I get it. That's your brother. You know, we're trying to see y'all come through in the league together. I get it. But man, Zinchenko, thank God we saw the light. That brother Edu was right. He seen that price. He said,
nah. "What?"
He said, Weren't you the same one saying that Mudryk was twerking for Arsenal?
He was twerking for Arsenal.
You were the same one that said it on this video.
He was twerking for Arsenal, bro.
The Offsides Zone. You were saying that. You said that. You said Mudryk was twerking for Arsenal.
Yes,
he is begging to come to Arsenal.
Yes, he was.
We have to go back and clip
He was
this.
begging.
We have to go and go back on
he was begging to play with Zinchenko.
You were begging for Mudryk. You were begging for him.
Whoa.
This is crazy.
And we stole him
from under you.
Let's pause. We stole him.
Let's pause. Come on. I said I would like to see Mudryk because of the partnership with Zinchenko. Again, I am emphasizing the fact that Zinchenko was selling dreams for his mans to get put on. Because now that we've seen the reality of his play in Chelsea, I am absolutely glad we missed out on that brother. Shoot, you can have him and have fun with that, my guy.
It is crazy because they offered him to come to Chelsea because like the trophies. They say you should come to a club that has a better chance. Y'all damn near got relegated, bro. That's insane.
Hey, guess what?
I don't think anybody on your team got more than 9 goals.
Yep.
Spanked.
Havertz.
No, look it up. Look it up. No, look it up.
He has 9.
Okay then. I said more than 9 goals.
I said he has 9.
Not more.
Losers.
Has 9.
Since we're on top of the loser, please let's get to the next one because we gotta talk about some flames.
You have as many trophies as you and I have the same amount of trophies this season. Zilch.
That's great. Where y'all playing next year?
Hey, guess what?
Oh,
majority of never ever seen Champions League.
Where y'all playing next year, bro?
Y'all not even playing.
It doesn't matter. In the Premier League, that's where we're playing.
Y'all better.
Y'all barely playing in the Prem, bro.
Y'all better get ready to battle it out with Burnley.
Hey, it doesn't matter.
The big game on Saturday. Chelsea versus Burnley Football Club.
Never ever seen the Champions League in his entire career.
How old is he? I was about to let Luton Town take our spot in the Prem.
Oh, listen, let me tell you right now, we're gonna be top 4 next season. I think we're gonna finish 2nd or 3rd, at least at the worst.
Okay.
Don't be surprised.
Hey, bro, we are clipping this. Don't worry, bro. We're clipping this.
I'm telling you this right now. Hey, listen, I said this in December. Arsenal's not going to win the league, right? Y'all had 10 points ahead of y'all. 10 points ahead of us. 10 points ahead of Messi, right?
23-year-olds. Better than anything average.
Oh, now it's an excuse. Okay.
23-year-olds.
I rest my case.
They're actually kids, bro. Y'all had grown men.
Now they kids.
It doesn't matter.
Moody's a kid too.
No, that's cool.
If you want to say that,
that's cool. Too. But they have grown men on that team, bro, battling out with Burnley FC. I don't want to.
Men that have actually won trophies
at other teams.
No, in the same team.
Raheem Sterling, what has he won since he got to the club?
Okay. Thiago Silva, what has he won? The Champions League.
How old is Thiago? Cares.
Kai Havertz.
We're talking about the people that came to your club this season, bro. What did they win?
Come on, man. Most of those guys have won trophies in that team. What are you saying?
I'm saying the people who came to your club this season, what did they win? Okay.
I'm saying.
Thank you. Can we please go to the next question?
I'm saying 90% of your players have never won a trophy.
90% of our players are 23 years and younger, bro. It's okay.
Never won a trophy.
What are we talking about?
I rest my case.
Let's move on to the next topic. This will be our final topic for today. Did Barcelona underachieve or overachieve this season? I'm going to let Toby start with this one.
Bro's been preparing all day for this.
All right.
Yeah. Now watch me, cause I'm sorry, bro. Like, yeah, man, gotta get him. Barca, decent season for them. But as far as I'm concerned, they went out in the market, dismantled the club's financial structure. Dismantled. Notice the word that I'm using. Dismantled. They took it apart, broke levers, opened new doors, but really they were just getting broker and broker. So they did all that, went into the market, bought a whole bunch of players, overly priced players, big wages, big salaries, still added them. Lewandowski, Rafinha's, whatever else you want to add in there, a bunch of other players as well, just to win the league. And I get that. They're back in the Champions League, which they were there last season. But when you look at how much they spent and how much they broke down their finances and overspent compared to the capacity of what they could actually afford, it's a disappointment to a certain degree. Like, y'all are expected to do win the league or win some type of domestic title with the type of players and the caliber of players that you guys have. And I heard y'all before this talking about the team isn't good and this and that. I'm like, what? Y'all went out and bought Koundé, one of the most top center backs in the world at the time. Y'all went out and bought Lewandowski, one of the best strikers, and still one of the best strikers in the world. Y'all went out and bought Rafinha for 75 mil. One of them exciting players that was in the Prem the season before that. So I'm trying to understand, if you do all that when you know you have no money and you go into the market and you spend that much, what do you think you're supposed to come back with? What was y'all goal this season? To just win the title? Because y'all lost the Copa del Rey. Y'all lost the Copa del Rey. In fact, that's what is that? Is that not the only thing that y'all won, or y'all won like the Super Cup too?
Yep, we won a Spanish Super Cup.
Okay, the curtain raiser. So y'all won a curtain raiser trophy and the league title. Compared to what y'all really should have been aiming for was a higher finish in the Champions League, really winning the Champions League, a title, a league title as well, and probably the domestic cups as well. Y'all should have been challenging on all fronts. So I think for the money spent, maybe disappointment is not the right word, but it was definitely underachieving compared to what y'all were supposed to really do. That's me.
All right, Oswald.
Yeah. In terms of underachievement, they in terms of their goals, they highly underachieved. Their goal was to at least make it to maybe semis of Champions League.
Honest Barca fan. Wow.
Yeah. At least semi-Champions League. That was the goal, bare minimum, because they spent so much money and they sold a lot of their rights to what's that called? Roku. Was it Roku? Yeah, Roku, David, a bunch of those companies. So they got rid of their own shares, and in terms of like the league, they did okay. La Liga it's not really a big deal for them to win it. It's kind of expected in a way.
It is,
to be honest. It's pretty much expected for Barcelona to win either La Liga or just Copa del Rey. Just one of those two trophies that Barcelona won the trophy, Real Madrid won the trophy. It's expected, but Champions League was the real goal. They spent a lot of money and give out a lot of shares to major companies and buying big players in and bringing big players in to be able to get to that level where Bayern, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Chelsea.
Wait, try to sneak Chelsea in there.
They were trying to get to that level where they were trying, win the Champions League. That was the only purpose of them this season, to win trophies. That was it. I'll say in terms of a number out of 10, I'll give them a 6, 7 out of 10 at best.
Yeah.
6 or 7 out of 10 at best for them.
At best. 6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah, at best. 6 is okay, but 7 is at best.
Yeah, I would say I don't think Barca underachieved. I don't think Barca overachieved either. I think they just had a decent season. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was great. It was just okay. They won the league. They won titles, which other people in this, on this forum right here don't have clubs that won titles this season, like Arsenal and Chelsea. They didn't win any titles. So my club actually won titles. So I don't think it's underachieving. I don't think it's overachieving. I think when you talk about Barcelona, like, it really shows if you know the history of the club, if you think that their goal is to win the Champions League every season. Because if you look at Barcelona before the Messi and Ronaldinho era, they have no European history for real. Like, they really don't. Barcelona has really been a European top club in the current era we're in. So, like, we're not like a historically great European club. So I think the team under this deal that we're going through right now, I don't think we were expected to win the Champions League. I don't think it's realistic for the club and based on our history, So, like, I don't think we underachieved or overachieved. I think seven is pretty like accurate for our season. 7 is pretty accurate for our season, I would say.
Ooh.
All right,
My
Cliff.
God.
Yeah, I think Barcelona underachieved this season, and for me, I'd say I always judge my team based on how they play, not what they win exactly, but how they play will always influence what they win. And just watching Barcelona's games, it hasn't been what I expected with all the players that we have. And Toby already touched on the fact that we pulled levers and all that. I don't think it's too much of a problem, the fact that we did pull all the levers and we put ourselves into some financial debt, because at the end of the day, we still have these players and they're, they're going to be with us for the next, 3-4 years, depending on who we keep and whatever. But the gameplay itself was just we were, even winning the league, we were like kind of going through the motions, cracking out 1-0 victories, and kind of just like being just better than Madrid in consistency wise. And that's how we ended up winning the league. And the thing about teams like Barcelona is that we're always going to be judged off the Champions League, regardless of if it's like fair or not. And it's not just that we didn't win the Champions League, we crashed out in the group stage.
Cooked.
To Inter, and I mean Inter is in the finals, but crashed out to Inter and Bayern in the group stages. And then when we went down to the Europa League, we lost against Manchester United.
Cooked.
I'm not even like a fan of the Europa League. I don't care if we win it or not. It doesn't really bother me that we didn't win it, but it's like the way we went out. It's not.
You gotta look at the you gotta look at the situations of how we went out of that.
This is Javi's first.
Look. You gotta look at the situations. When we went out in the Europa League, we had 3 of our best players injured. Dembele, Gavi, and Pedri were not playing. When we went out in the Champions League, Araujo was injured, Koundé was injured. Like you gotta look at the situations for those games.
I get that.
My God.
At the same time, we are Barcelona. We should have that depth.
I have that depth,
so
bro.
We don't have it yet.
We don't really have that depth.
No,
we don't have that depth.
No, we don't. Just like Arsenal, we don't have depth yet. Just like
y'all want us to compare the roster for you? Because we'll go through the roster. Y'all have millions of dollars sitting on the bench.
That doesn't mean they're impressive players, though. Money doesn't always speak how.
They're still good players. They're good enough to not get spanked the way that y'all did. What to my understanding, y'all basically did good enough this year for Xavi not to get fired. That's literally it. If he didn't win the league this year, he would have got fired. That's my point. And
I don't think he would have got fired.
I don't think so.
Well, if he didn't get fired, it wouldn't have been based off of performance. It would have been based off the fact that y'all can't afford to fire him and hire a new manager. So I think so. So when you look at y'all's situation, right? Y'all didn't just like dominate the league, bro. It was like a cat and mouse type of situation. And in a situation where Real Madrid were bad this season. League-wise, they were bad. Literally. They would literally go to games. Some games they would dominate. Some games they'll just be like, why am I even here? They'll be losing to the bottom half of the league. I think even recently at the end, they tied with one of the teams that's supposed to get relegated. That's my point. So y'all played a league title. It happens, but it was happening very often. That's my point. So y'all were playing in a league season where the other teams weren't up to par in terms of their situation. So y'all, the way that y'all spent, because notice again, Real Madrid didn't spend any money this offseason. They didn't. They had the same people, same repertoire that they had last season. Same old guard, same people. So when you look at that and you look at what you guys did, y'all tapped into the market. Y'all ain't just tap around. Y'all tapped into the market. So, like, y'all should have been dominating the league, honestly. And then when you look at what y'all did in the Champions League, like, Man, I'm talking about some Inter is in the final, but look how Inter got to the final, bro. Like the road was easier. You look at how their road was
You
easier.
gotta win. You gotta win the games.
But that's exactly what Xavi should have been telling the Barcelona players. Because when you look at that table, when you look at that table beforehand, I'm pretty sure we all looked at that and was like, Bayern and Barca going through easy. Inter, what they gonna do? But nah, y'all got spanked.
Once again, you gotta look at the situations. Look at the situations.
You're making excuses, buddy.
If we go and look at how Arsenal got bottled the league at the end of the season, would you not say because Saliba got injured, that didn't play a major role in why Arsenal bottled the league?
I could say that, but
exactly.
Let me finish. I could say that, but at the end of the day, that would ultimately be an excuse because what really happened is, I'm gonna tell you the truth. They were young. They didn't know how to handle the pressure.
They were young. Yeah, all right.
It's true.
No, the point is Barcelona, like Arsenal, do not have enough depth yet.
Y'all had enough depth to do.
No, we didn't. We had PK coming off the bench. PK's finished. PK started that game against Inter.
Barcelona
and he
legend,
made he made like 2 bad mistakes that caused goals.
Okay, cool. Y'all want to do excuses, and that's fine.
That's fine. Were you not the same person that was?
Y'all want to do excuses,
Rob Holding for why Arsenal was losing games.
You're comparing PK to Rob Holding. Yeah. I would take PK in a heartbeat over Rob Holding.
At this age, at this stage?
Yes, at this age, yes. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I am not tripping. Yes, I would. My point is, you're gonna come in here and say individually this and this. I'm trying to tell you, as a collective, you look at the whole caliber of your team. You still have millions of dollars sitting on the bench. There are still quality players on that bench. You want to say your depth and stuff like that, but it was easily good enough. And it was easily good enough. Your team as a collective was easily good enough to get through that group stages. It was easily good enough to beat that Man U side who also does not have depth that you're talking about.
Yeah, but they had all their players. Once again, Barcelona was missing 3 of their best players in that game, bro.
Of course.
I mean, that's a fact.
All I'm hearing is excuses because at the end of the day, I feel like as a collective, and you might disagree, I feel like as a collective, y'all had enough to do better than what y'all did this season. If you want to come in and say that, oh, there's a few key injuries here and there, that happens to everybody, bro.
Exactly.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me Frank Kessie coming off the bench, Jordi Alba off the bench. In fact, let's go through this, bro, because I'm really trying to understand. Like, you're talking about,
it's literally
you're talking about your best players.
Arsenal bottled the league, bro. It's literally the same thing that happened. Key injuries to players, they lose.